Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Welcome to what is the hottest day of the year here in the United Kingdom, possibly the hottest day on record. And things are heating up, not just here, but at Chelsea Football Club as well, both in terms of incomings and outgoings, because we've got news not just in relation to Kounde, but we've got Broja to talk about too. We're going to get into that later on. Before we get kicking off though, I want to let you know this video is brought to you and sponsored by the OneFootball app. So for all of your latest information, if you don't have the OneFootball app already, if you've been living in a cave, if you're hiding away from the sun, it's understandable. But download the OneFootball app for all of your latest. That way you keep yourselves up to date in the same way that I do. It's my go-to for all of my football information as it comes in minute by minute. OneFootball are always on it. So make sure you download it now. Link in the description. Have a look, download it, enjoy, just like I do. Now, let's get right into what is going on. Kounde. Let's start off with Kounde. Yeah, we'll get to the good news and then we'll get to the bad news afterwards. Right, let's start off with Kounde. What is going on? So, Nathan Gissing has given us an indication as to the latest with Kounde and Chelsea Football Club. Before that, there was news coming from Spain that Chelsea had submitted a bid. Chelsea are making an offer. Chelsea are making moves. And then later on, we started getting confirmation from the likes of Nathan Gissing to tell us that, yep, it's true. Chelsea are talking with Sevilla now. We are back in for Kounde, and it's looking like it could happen. But there is one team that also wants him. This team needs to liquidate, honestly. Barcelona, just stop. You're on us like a rash that won't go away. Yeah? Disappear, please. If not, we will make you in the Champions League. Hopefully, I pray we play Barcelona. I really want us to play Barcelona. And then look, if we lose, we lose. But if we win, right, let's get into it. Nathan Gissing, fill us in. Chelsea are in negotiations with Sevilla over Jules Kounde and been told have already sent a proposal of around 50 million euros plus add-ons for Kounde. As revealed, Chelsea are reworking on the signing of Kounde, and from the club side, they have confidence. Barca remain interested. So that is a very good indication as to how far it's going. Barca are interested, and the latest is apparently Barcelona will be trying to launch a bid for Kounde too, although there is a lot more confidence with this one compared to other players that Barcelona managed to get, that Chelsea will actually get this one across the line. In terms of Kounde and where is he more likely to go, it's definitely Chelsea. Unlike Rafinha, Dembele, all those where it kept pointing to Barcelona, this one is pointing more to Chelsea. So we'll see, but you know, the way the window's going, Barcelona just have to click their fingers and the player signs a contract. It's actually quite unbelievable. I've never seen a club with no money act like multi-billionaires. They clearly have the money somewhere. That's the problem. But Kounde, I'm quite confident. Then again, I've said that before. So take my words with a pinch of salt. Basically, I'm just telling you what I feel. This is Younes Talks Football. I talk football. I tell you guys how I'm feeling. So, Kounde is looking good, right? And I think in terms of the priorities that we have, we do need a Kounde to come in, for sure. Kimpembe we're also working on. It's more than likely going to be both of them. But, yeah, we'll keep tabs on Barcelona. Although I don't think they're going to match that offer. And if they don't, we'll definitely have the upper hand. But, then again, we need to know the players' camp. Kounde, what does he want? You know, because we've agreed deals before and then they've gone off to someone else. Like, we need to find out, what does he want? If he wants Chelsea, which it seems like for months on end he wanted, I hope that's still the case. If that's the case, he's coming to Chelsea. So, Kounde, we'll keep our eyes on that one, but it's looking good and hopefully he does end up becoming one of the next new signings for Thomas Tuchel's Blues. Now, let's move into the topic of the day. Without question, is what the hell's going on at Chelsea with these players that are lingering and on edge and they're on the fence and no one quite knows what's going on. What is going on? Broja, Gilmore, Colwell, Gallagher. What's going on? Well, let's get right into it. So, Fabrizio Romano informed us earlier on today about a bid from West Ham. Details of the official bid submitted by West Ham for Broja. £30 million total fee. Waiting for Chelsea answer. Then buyback. Future sell percentage will be discussed. Chelsea decision expected soon with Thomas Tuchel also involved. I just want to say off the bat, £30 million, quite low. Considering you're paying for a 20-year-old Premier League striker. Yes, he's scored 6 Premier League goals, right? I understand that. But in terms of the way that the market is moving, 20 years old, from Chelsea Football Club, £30 million, that's just an opening offer. I'll be shocked if Chelsea actually just accept that and don't try and bump it up to 35 or 40. We should, because we should be getting that for him. Now, what's happening with Broja? Why has it come to this? What on earth is going on? Let's get right into it. We've got Ben Jacobs, Nizar Kinsella and Matt Law to explain the entire situation, starting off with Ben Jacobs. West Ham closing in on Armando Broja. Albanian heading to London after agreeing personal terms. Chelsea's position hasn't changed. They ideally don't want to sanction a permanent sell. West Ham trying for an outright purchase for around £30 million, but may have to settle for a loan. Broja spoke to Thomas Tuchel to get some clarity on his long-term future. It was reiterated that Chelsea don't want to sell him, so a lot now depends on Broja himself. West Ham hoping he asks Chelsea to leave permanently, having sold the move based on first-team football. Broja is currently pretty unsettled and sources indicate he will be relieved to resolve his future. It's challenging flying late to the US tour then returning early. High volume of clubs interested. 2, including Newcastle, meaning a lot has been up in the air. Plus, Broja has already had Vitesse and Southampton loans. It's not easy changing clubs and dressing rooms season on season. That's why Broja is intent on stability. West Ham can offer him that. Broja always wanted to understand Chelsea's attacking incomings this season, plus his long-term CFC future before deciding next move. West Ham now looking very likely, but whether Chelsea greenlight a permanent sell still remains to be seen. Both clubs working fast to resolve. As a side, loan could give Chelsea leverage with Declan Rice next summer. If Broja does well, his value rises, then he can be used as part of a potential swap. Rice not available this window. This scenario isn't in Chelsea's thinking yet, but a rise in Broja's value next year is. One final point on Broja. Decision isn't only down to Chelsea. Broja's desire to play regularly, especially after doing so at Southampton, will be factored in. He doesn't want to keep being loaned and back in same position after each spell. That's what makes West Ham confident. From Chelsea's perspective, they can't just force Broja on loan, but they can either convince him of a long-term future at Chelsea, or if they fail, sell with a buyback clause to keep him as an option. West Ham confident of a deal, though, due to Broja's strong desire for stability. You know what's very interesting with all of this? I hear the people that are saying Broja, all these guys and what's going on, they want clarity. They should be given a chance. It's a fair deal if they get given minutes, right? Understandable. But in terms of the reason why he's actually left the pre-season tour this early, 2 potential reasons here, okay? We've got one reason that's already been touted, which we've heard now is potentially because of personal terms with West Ham. The other one is because of an injury. Now, which one is actually it? I got to be honest with you. I'm personally inclined to believing option number 1. But Nizar Kinsella fills us in, and as well as Matt Law. So let's read what they have to say and then we'll analyse. Nizar Kinsella saying latest on why Armando Broja isn't with Chelsea's squad, saying here Broja has asked to leave Chelsea with personal terms almost agreed on a £30 million plus move to West Ham. That's from Nizar Kinsella. From Matt Law, Armando Broja and Billy Gilmour have both left Chelsea's first team tour of the US. Broja looks to be heading to West Ham. Gilmour is heading to Salt Lake to join up with the under-23 so he can at least play a game. Tuchel's spoken and said, I would have loved to have had everybody here because Tino, Harvey and Billy had trained at a very high level, and it would also have been nice to see them in some matches. But in the end, we had to take the decision to keep the quality high in training, so we decided for 24 players as a maximum. And that's why we went a bit smaller. Armando had to travel home. He had a little accident in training. He twisted his ankle and he needs further examinations and treatments in London. It did not make sense to just have him as an additional player because we need all capacities of treatment for the guys who are actually fit and on the pitch. So the best way for him to get the best treatment and as soon as possible back on the pitch was to leave for London. I personally am not buying that from Thomas Tuchel. There was an injury. We have seen the pictures. We've seen him in a foot brace. We've seen the whole thing. He did injure himself. But as to why that's the reason why he's got to come back to London, potentially there's a factor there. But the reason is obviously West Ham. It's obviously West Ham. Look, where do I stand on this, right? For the other ones that had to go, Harvey Vell, Tino Anjorin, Billy Gilmore, under 23s. Now, Billy Gilmore has gone to the under 23s to link up so then he can play some games in Salt Lake. Understandable, right? For the others, I'm not quite sure as to whether they've gone to the under 23s as well. I'm guessing they have because they are under 23 players. So I'm guessing they've all gone to Salt Lake in order for them to get some preseason minutes in. That's only beneficial for them, right? So try them out in preseason. Realistically, this preseason that we have, it's only going to be one game, right? It's going to be Charlotte. And then we have the Arsenal game. And then we have Udinese in Italy. That is going to be a separate story. We'll wait and see what happens. But that's our pre-season. And I understand if Thomas Tuchel is trying to be realistic and trying to go, look, when it gets into the season, I want to have an idea of the 11 that I'm going to be choosing. Realistically, we're not going to be starting the season in the Premier League with Tino Anjorin, Harvey Vell and Billy Gilmore on the pitch, are we? We're just not. Billy Gilmore, I'd like to think, has more of a capacity to be able to do so because he has that experience. But yeah, when you look at the way that someone like Conor Gallagher is being used, you can see he is going to be used. You know, so there are some players that are going to make it and there are some that are not. Now, this is where I come to Broja. This is where I come to Levi Colwill. This is where I come to these guys, okay? If they actually think that they can rock up to pre-season and demand from Thomas Tuchel, I want minutes next season. I need minutes. I need to be playing every game. Or I need to be getting absolute guarantee that I'm going to be getting playing time. That's not how it works. You've got to put some respect on Chelsea's name here, right? When you're talking about Levi Colwill, for example, he's had one championship spell, loan spell, right? 19 years old. Broja has had one Premier League spell at Southampton, scored 6 goals in 32, if I'm not mistaken, right? 20 years old. We can't realistically, whilst we are trying to be ambitious to win the Premier League title and the Champions League, right? That's the aim. The aim should be to try and get as much silverware as we can. We're not going to try and reduce our standards and just go, oh no, you know what? Yeah, we'll be content with top 4. We'll just be content with... No. Every season, we are in there to win it. We are in it to win it. That is the deal. You can't expect to rely on a 19-year-old to come in and do the business for you. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Chelsea Football Club are a certain calibre. So what I want to say to these guys is you have to be patient. At least a little bit. But, I want to put a big but here, right? If Thomas Tuchel cannot guarantee, again, the caliber's high. This is Chelsea we're talking about. We're not just giving freebies to any youth player that comes through the system and we're going to go, any player from Cobham, you get an automatic pass into the first team because you're from Cobham. That's not how it works. If you're good enough, you'll play. Gallagher is good enough and he's going to play. That is without question. You can already see the seeds are being planted. Gallagher will be involved in the squad. Without a doubt. Some of these guys, though, they have to be patient. They can't just expect a free pass. Well, we're trying to actually be ambitious for silverware. So this is where I'm saying, even on their instances, they have to be a bit patient. But if Chelsea can't guarantee them what they're asking for, which for me I find for one season, for this season coming, it's unrealistic. For the season afterwards, it's realistic. I would like to think that if they're given a chance during this coming season to get minutes here and there, to see what they can do at this level, and then make a decision on their long-term future, cool. At that point, it's with the club. But for now, I think it's with the player. If the player right now, like a Broja, looks at West Ham, and West Ham are going, we can assure you, you're going to be playing every week, right? And his head gets turned by that. I can't blame Broja, but I can't blame Chelsea. We can't give Broja what West Ham can give him. That's as simple as that. If we have to try and give him what West Ham are going to give him, he has to play as the number 9 every single week. Broja cannot play for Chelsea every single week. He can't. whilst we are not having the same ambitions as West Ham. West Ham are not trying to win the Premier League title. West Ham are not in the Champions League. West Ham are not trying to even win a European trophy. West Ham are not trying to, they're probably trying to reach top 4. And for them, that's like winning the Premier League title. For us, that's not our level. We are a level above that. So it's understandable that West Ham can turn to someone like Broja and go, okay, look, you've had a good loan at Southampton. We're interested in you. You're going to get the number 9 shirt. You're going to, well, not number 9. Antonio's got it. But you're going to come in and you're going to be starting. You're going to be playing most weeks. Don't worry. We can't do that. And correctly so, we can't do that. Just because West Ham can, it doesn't mean we should. That's the point. The same applies for Levi Colwill here. These guys that are 19, 20, you've got all the time in the world. I'd like to think that for one season, you'd stay in this squad and you try and prove yourself. Because as nice as we like to think that you can prove yourself in a pre-season, you can give indications. You can maybe turn Thomas Tuchel's head. You can get him to spot a couple of things about you. But you can't get him to make an absolute decision on you in the space of 2 or 3 pre-season matches, where you're not even going to play 90 minutes for all of those matches. You can't. It's a indicator, right? It's a, what's his first touch like? How does he move? How does he link up with certain players? That's basically, or what's his fitness like? That's all you can get. And as I said yesterday, pre-season is fitness. Pre-season is fitness. But to try and come to a certain decision on a player that quickly? Nah. It's going to take the start of the season. It's going to take into the middle of the season to truly get a gripe as to what this guy is like within the squad during an actual season. These guys that are 19 and 20, I'd like to think that even they would give themselves a chance in this squad to see how good they are at Chelsea Football Club. But they're not doing that. And are they right or wrong? Some of us might think they're wrong. Some of us might think they're right. Because if they're getting offers like from a West Ham, for example, where Broja is going to be playing Premier League football and he's going to be playing week in, week out, I can see why he's looking at that and going, yeah, I ain't got to move. I'm still in London. I'm playing every week. Happy days. I'm not getting that at Chelsea. But Chelsea can't just bend over and give him exactly what he wants in that manner. We can't. So it is what it is. It is what it is. In this aspect, I don't think anyone is technically wrong or right. It's just one of those things. It's life. It's football. And I have to say something here because I'm seeing quite a few Chelsea fans that are so hell-bent on every single Cobham graduate getting into this squad. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. You're going to get some, and rightfully so. I'm more than happy to see it because they are from Cobham. They're basically born and bred Chelsea from the age of like 7, 8. When you see those lads come through and they're in the first team, it's a beautiful thing. Look at Mount and Reece and all those lot, Trevor Chalobah, many others that have managed to come into the first team squad and do big things. And it's great to see. You see the entire journey. It's wonderful. But you can't expect every Cobham graduate to come through. It's not going to happen. Even the ones that sometimes you think, oh yeah, he's good enough. Nah. There's no assurances. And at the end of the day, we've all said Thomas Tuchel is here. He needs to be given the chance, like he deserves, to have exactly what he needs in front of him to do what he wants to do. And if it means that Broja is not going to be a part of that because he can't guarantee to play him every single week, same goes for Levi Colwill, same goes for the others, then it is what it is. But we have asked to back Thomas Tuchel and allow him the time to do what he wants to do with this team because he deserves the chance to. Hence, after winning the Champions League and doing what he's done with us. Fantastic. So, when it comes to this, I do want to say that we have to be cautious in terms of the way that we analyse the situation. There's no right or wrong, technically, but it is what it is, and our standards are high. And if these players are happy to stick around, cool. If they're not and they have opportunities elsewhere, cool. See you later. Best of luck. And we'll see if we get a buyback clause. That's all we can really do at this stage. But for Broja, what's baffled me is the path is clear. Hence why I'm a bit baffled as to why he's just so adamant in going to West Ham. Because Levi Colwill, I can understand a bit more. You're getting a Kimpembe in, or you're getting a Kounde. You've already got a Koulibaly. You've got Thiago Silva. You've got Chalobah as well. There's a lot of centre-backs, right? So I can understand if he's considering his options. When you're looking at Broja, we ain't got a striker, mate. We've got Kai Havertz. That's basically it. Some would say Timo Werner, but look, I think that's safe to say we've tried and tested that. It's not really working with Timo up top as the number 9. Let's just be real. For Broja, it's a big opportunity. You're not going to get a better opportunity at Chelsea than this, you know? And if he sticks around and he manages to prove himself, there's a chance maybe Chelsea won't actually get anyone in. Maybe we'll be okay for the season with Havertz and Broja as the two options. And Timo Werner if we have to turn to someone. Maybe Batshuayi if he sticks around. Is it good enough? No, but I'm talking for Broja. That's a pathway for you. You're not going to get a better opportunity to break into the Chelsea team than that. In the same way that Gallagher is now proving that he wants to stick around and break into the midfield. In the same way that, yes, we had a transfer ban, but the same way that Mason and Reece and those lads broke into the team and did impose themselves when the opportunity arose. This is an opportunity for Broja, I feel. But he's going to go to West Ham. That's not our fault. And technically, it's not even his because he's getting more football elsewhere. But that's just life. And if he feels that's a good decision for him, good. But for me, if I was him, I'd stick around. If I was in Broja's shoes, I see that opportunity, I'd be telling myself, I've got a chance here to make it at one of the biggest clubs in the world. You know? And you're 20 years old. You've got time on your side. 19 for Colwell. Some of these other lads, they've got all the time in the world. So, yeah, that's what baffles me a little bit. But we'll wait and see how this pans out. I think Broja will probably go to West Ham. And as for the others, we'll have to wait and see how it all goes. But if Broja does go, best believe Chelsea will be going into the market to get themselves a striker now. Because we can't function with just Kai Havertz and possibly Timo Werner as the only attacking options that we have in the squad. We can't do that. We need to be able to go into the market for someone. Who knows who we're going to get. There's no targets yet. We'll see what happens. To close up, Chelsea have appointed a new president of business. This is how you know we've been taken over by Americans. So start giving titles like this, you know you're Americanized. Here it is. Chelsea FC appoints president of business. This is the new president of business, Tom Glick, who has a 30-year sports marketing and operations experience. As an executive, he is the new club. He's the new club's president of business. He used to work at Manchester City or the City Group in a similar role and done very good things over there. He was chief commercial officer at City Football Group. But this goes into detail as to what his history is and what he's going to be bringing, and I think it's a good move. This role is non-football related. It's only business. So in terms of the business side and the football side, this guy will be running the day-to-day operations at Chelsea on the business side. On the football side, he won't have any responsibility there whatsoever. That isn't for him. So seems like a good appointment. Has done good things. He's got good experience, very good experience. And I hope that he's going to absolutely smash it for us in terms of a financial point of view. So yeah, there we are. Let me know your thoughts down below on everything I've discussed today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to download the OneFootball app. Link in the description. I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one. And I think tomorrow you might be getting a double upload because the Reddit video could be coming tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. But I'll see all of you then. Have a good one, people. See you then. Take care and peace.